All right. Looks like we are live on YouTube. Let me, looks like we're having a problem with Facebook. So let me see if I can fix that.
Great. Oh, I should probably change my name instead of my name to say my company, huh?
Oh, sure.
Is that possible?
Yes, I think you have to. Actually, I don't think it is now that you're in here.
All right.
All right. Let me fix Facebook really quickly.
Am I able to see if anybody's on? David Carpenter said, good morning. Good morning, David.
Yeah, so you can see.
I just saw a comment.
All right, I think we are good on Facebook now. Let me just make sure it says we are live. Get on here and check. Okay, we are good on Facebook too. Awesome. Glad that was an easy fix. Okay. All right, well, we will go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our network welcome. I am Jamie Chavez, the President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and every Wednesday we bring to you a live broadcast featuring one of our newest chamber members to introduce them and give them a chance to talk to you about their business. If you are new to the broadcast, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. We encourage you to like and follow this page so that you get notifications when we go live in the future. If you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and explore previous broadcasts there as well. We also offer broadcasts on Mondays, which are dedicated to city updates from our city councilors, our mayor pro tem and our mayor. And these broadcasts offer a chance to hear all about what's going down at City Hall. So I hope that you join us for those as well. In addition, we reserve the last Friday of the month, so that's going to be this Friday in a couple days, for county updates featuring Jeffco County Commissioner Tracy Kraftharp. So tune in for that to be informed on broader county matters. And as you watch this morning, we encourage you to engage with us, to drop your comments, ask any questions, say hello in the comment section, and we'll address all those during the broadcast. And now a very warm welcome to Nina Sloan with Rocky Mountain Sports Club and Rocky Mountain Martial Arts. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. It's so great to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, of course. And we have Dave Carpenter says good morning. Morning, Dave. Hope you're doing well. So why don't we get started, and you can just tell us all about yourself.
Great. It's such an interesting story because we came on scene, and what's really interesting, I'm really grateful to be a part of the Westminster Chamber. As a Colorado native, I know my husband would dispute that fact, but that's a whole other story for a one-to-one with somebody. But I've been here my whole life, other than a little bit of a jaunt in my career, working on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. But it's just so funny the way 120th like really splits, and it depends on what side of the road you're on or what foot you're in or what have you, the way that the communities overlap. But it's been a real big goal of ours since opening our business in August of 2022 to become a member of the Westminster Chamber. Just a matter of putting all those little bricks in place as you're building, because we're located right in the crux of where Westminster, Broomfield, Boulder County, Jefferson County, they all intersect. And so we love having the opportunity to serve all of those communities. And it's been amazing to just in this initial part, being a part of this chamber has been great. But we started just off of West 120th behind Great Scots. I believe that's on the Westminster side of 120th, to start a nonprofit martial arts organization. My husband and I are trained martial artists and came up through the program. And as we decided to create an organization, we really wanted it to be a nonprofit with this goal of making a program that's affordable and accessible for our community. And so that there was birthed Rocky Mountain Martial Arts Front Range. And it actually comes from a lineage of Rocky Mountain Martial Arts School. My instructor has a Rocky Mountain Martial Arts School up in Basalt, Colorado near Aspen. And his instructor, his name is Jeff Munitz, a Sabanim, actually trained with Chuck Norris in California, in Southern California, where kind of all of that karate culture, martial arts culture got started. And he came to Aspen and thought, why would I ever leave? Which I couldn't disagree more. Yeah, or I couldn't agree more. I love the mountains and I grew up in the mountains. And so we stuck with our lineage, but opened up a nonprofit in that lineage here. And it's been great. The funny thing is we opened up Rocky Mountain Martial Arts Front Range in October of 2019. And I will never forget the conversation I had with all of the families that we were serving in March of 2020, just months after we opened, to be like, wow, what could, I remember saying myself, how long do you really think this is going to last? Yeah. And here we are. So it was great. And it's been such a great ride. Super passionate about the martial arts students that we've been able to serve in the process, and the community that we have grown is just really special. Next month, our first black belt is being tested, and I was looking through our classrooms the other night and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when this was just all a bunch of little white belts coming through here. And we have a really robust program now, and it's been really special. So that's how, a real short story on how Rocky Mountain Martial Arts Front Range came to the scene. But then right after COVID, we were having some struggles finding consistent space to rent that would allow us to really grow our programs. And that's where Rocky Mountain Sports Club came into play. My husband, Tim, and I have been really passionate about fitness and authentic fitness for people. We're military, and the VA has been telling us forever to do yoga as part of our own reintegration process. Tim's a combat vet, and there are a lot of great things that yoga. Hi, Denise. It's great to see you. No, I'm not so nervous. VA has been telling us to do yoga forever, and Tim and I have really delved into a lot of these long-term, how to see longevity in everybody, and including we have 2 students that are now preteens and teens that have come up through the competitive athlete system. And we just see overall as a culture, we're really driven to be hard on our bodies. And I love athleticism and I love working hard, but we established Rocky Mountain Sports Club on its own to be a for-profit organization that provides modalities that allow people to not only prepare and advance their bodies, but to really restore them as well. And I love having conversations with people because I think in our culture, we miss out on that, the actual need for rest. And that resting and restoring and taking the time to listen to what your body needs can actually advance you further in your endeavors. So Rocky Mountain Sports Club offered a permanent home to Rocky Mountain Martial Arts Front Range so that they wouldn't have to worry about the consistency of growing their programs. 2 very separate organizations, but they are under the same roof for now. And it's just been quite a ride since we started. So that's kind of our history.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I was in there, I guess maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point. It's been a minute. And it's a really great space. I like it a lot. And you've got, tell us, maybe about the ages that you work with or the groups of people that you work with, some of the fun activities that you do.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I love to say all ages, all abilities, because we do have prenatal programs. We love taking care of that aspect of health for people. And we launched a program when we first started of a Parkinson's class that had to take a little bit of a pause. And we're going to be relaunching it actually this summer. But we see the athlete in everybody, and actually also really enjoy having classes. Some of them have separate, we have a specific kids yoga program that we run, but I also have kids that are coming with their parents to work out and to do the regular small group fitness classes that we have. And it's been really fun to see how well that works. So we have evening yin classes, which is a style of yoga that really slows things down, creates a lot of breath and intentional movement. I've got some middle schoolers that are coming with their moms to go to that class. And I as a yoga instructor, I'm like, man, if we could get our middle schoolers to breathe a little more often, wouldn't it just kind of change the world a little bit? I don't know. But so all ages, all abilities, lots of different things. We have yoga, bar, we have Zumba. I personally feel like I have the best Zumba instructor on the face of the planet. She's incredible. She's just so full of life and really just gets lost in the choreography and brings everybody into the fold. And I love running specialized programs. We had a sound bath last week at our studio. We regularly host puppy yoga, which is very popular. And then I'm trained in self-defense. And so we have self-defense programs, again, for a wide range of abilities. I've been teaching self-defense for Girl Scout troops trying to earn their badges in self-defense. teach women's self-defense. I teach men's self-defense as well, alongside my husband, because 1 in 3 women is actually likely to be subjected to some form of assault, but it's 1 in 4 men. So while women are targeted in that situation, there's not a lot of difference between the people that have experienced some kind of assault. And so based on our methodology, we really try to offer that programming across the board, whether it's in our studio or we also offer it working with corporations or individuals or companies that want to hold team building type events. We offer it in that way too.
Awesome. And what are the youngest kiddos that you're working with?
Well, my daughter started martial arts when she was 3. So when people call me and ask me, do you take 3-year-olds? I'm like, of course I do, because I've seen it like work. And I am most often the teacher for the little people. And I just love teaching them, whether it's martial arts or yoga, or a lot of the other things that we do here. I just love embracing that population because it's awesome.
Yeah. And so talk more about puppy yoga, because I know this is one of the things that people are pretty excited about.
You know, it's funny. Someone recently asked me, they're like, how did you come up with that? And I said, well, I didn't. Lots of people do it. But where I was passionate about it being a little bit different is I didn't want like an Instagram level, like come in, hug a puppy, take a picture, you know, and not necessarily respect. The thing, I partnered with a rescue. I found a rescue that I had seen around. I had gone and visited with their leaders. And I had said, like, I want to create an event that's mutually beneficial to the animals as it is to the people that are coming. This goes back to the yoga and martial arts instruction, is that energy is exchanged when you do these types of things. And rescue dogs really do need to be held. They're often coming out of a very traumatic situation. And so creating a spot where, you know, humans holding puppies, it's a natural de-stressor, but the dogs enjoying being held as well. And so for the rescue, it's a benefit as they're bringing these dogs into foster care. They need to be socialized. And so we partnered with iRescue. It's a local nonprofit rescue organization. They bring litters in. We support letting the families know that participate, that they're always looking for foster families. We collect donations for them. They're always looking for sheets, towels, bedding, things that they can do and transport that they desperately need. And at the same time, people come in, and I love teaching this class as well. Other instructors have taught it too, watching people just completely relax in the midst of dogs either being silly or playing parkour off of their backs. It's just a really healing event that's super fun. And we donate the majority of our proceeds back to the nonprofit, the rescue, just as a support to them because they're doing really incredible work.
That's amazing. And how often do you do those? Are they set times? I think they're like Saturday mornings. Is that right?
Puppy yoga is every first Friday at 5:30 at our studio. And afterwards, we have charcuterie, mocktails, and just really enjoy the time being in community together.
Awesome. And you brought up mocktails. You're doing a lot with health and wellness, and maybe talk about how the mocktails came about and, you know, what you're doing with those.
You know, when Tim and I decided to open Rocky Mountain Sports Club, you know, being boutique and, you know, not wanting to be run of the mill, we were trying to figure out ways that, like, I guess our attitude was just how do we learn to serve the community that we're in? And so that's how a lot of our programs have come about, is that we see that there's a need in the community and that we try to fill it. That's how our puppy yoga program came about. That's how our prenatal program came about, postpartum, really serving moms in our community. So what I noticed is it was about, I don't know, maybe a year ago on one of the moms groups, a mom was just like, gosh, you guys, I've gone sober. And I find that we as moms constantly create events that involve alcohol. And she was like, I don't mind going and not drinking, but she was like, can we like shift our paradigm a little bit and not necessarily always have events that involve alcohol? So I heard that loud and clear. And not to mention, like, I drink myself, so I'm not like on the teetotaling bandwagon. But I do know the health risks at drinking consistently. And COVID actually took a lot of us, if we're being honest, like to a different level of our drinking ability. And so this mom said that it really touched my heart. And I was like, how can we serve? So we started by having an event called Soba Yoga and just had a great yoga evening where moms, anyone actually, it's not just moms, but came together, had a great yoga session, had mocktails afterwards. And then I met a girl up in Fort Collins who creates organic cottage kitchen made seasonal mocktails. And so we have mocktails in our studio now for sale. People can just come by and pick up these mason jars that we have. We have the winter collection right now, but she just released the spring collection, and that's going to be launching in our studio soon. And I've had great conversations with people about either toning down drinking or how to maybe not just be so in that alcohol consumption mode. And it's created some really great conversations about health and wellness in our studio overall. There's a real trend toward people choosing sobriety, and we just absolutely want to support that in a way that people don't feel like they have to stand out, that they can have what they want or feel like they can celebrate in some way other than just having cranberry and soda.
Yeah. Well, I definitely can't wait to try some of those mocktails. They looked really good.
They are good.
And then another thing that you are really good at is partnering with different businesses and organizations in the community. You talked a little bit about iRescue, but I know you're doing a lot with a bunch of different places. So tell us a little bit more about who you're partnering with and what you're doing.
So I learned really quick, again, back to that, like what's going to come in the door and how are we going to serve? We partner with Friends of Broomfield. We provide adaptive programming for their adults with disabilities once a week. That's been a really great opportunity. Self-defense wise, I partner with companies, local organizations, schools, Girl Scout troops to provide that kind of curriculum for them. That has also been really great. We do corporate yoga. Sometimes a company will call us and say, can you come give us a little bit of a break or a team building event? Really customizing. People are calling in saying what they need. Someone the other day called and they're like, I just really want a Zumba class, which I thought was great. Like in the middle of the workday, why wouldn't you want to get up and do Zumba a little bit? Locally, we go into a couple preschools and do a little bit with our after school program, just with breathwork, yoga, resilience, martial arts. It's really with this attitude is people call us and have a need or are wanting to connect more with their wellness or ways that they can serve their customer base or client base, is that we want to take the tools that we have to help companies have those offerings as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what is your schedule there at your studio? What are your hours? When are you offering classes? Stuff like that.
Sure. I don't know if there's a way to I can send you of course I'm not going to read it off, but our martial arts school, Rocky Mountain Martial Arts Front Range, has martial arts classes in the evenings or afternoons and evenings, 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, with some special offerings on the weekends. We have small group fitness classes 7 days a week here. And in addition, we're the exclusive wellness partner with the Omni Interlaken Hotel. And so we provide their wellness program up there, and people that are members of our studio also have access to the wellness activities that we do up there. You can just check our website for the classes that are current. All of our schedules are on there.
Awesome. Maybe I will try to find the link to, and you can also send it in chat and I can post it.
Oh, great.
So people can check out your website and know when the classes are. So what can you, I know that there's different styles of martial arts. And so maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you teach there, or, how different the styles are and why you chose the one that you did.
Sure. Rocky Mountain Martial Arts Front Range is a school of the Muda Kwan. And I love the true lineage of the Muda Kwan goes back to a traditional Korean style, started in November 9th, 1945 in Korea. And it came back through, as I mentioned, Southern California when Chuck Norris came back from being an Air Forceman. His name was actually Carlos Norris at the time. And they started a lot of martial arts studios in Southern California and really ran the circuit of what you experienced from the Karate Kid going through Southern California. And a lot of these gentlemen that trained together were involved in Hollywood. And so a gentleman named Pat Johnson was in Bruce Lee with Enter the Dragon. And you can actually see our martial art crest as a pin on his jacket in that movie. And there are a lot of other, he also was the choreographer for the Karate Kid, the very first Karate Kid. And in that final scene where they're in the tournament, he's the referee in that. And so that's kind of the start of our martial art and our famous lineage, if you will. Traditional Korean style focuses on hyung, which is our forms where you put movements together to learn defense. Self-defense, sparring, and weapons all are a part of the history of our model. But what I like to mention is that we are a defensive martial art. And so for me, my founder's most saying of our martial art is that world peace comes through improved human relationships. So we train all of our students that they're not necessarily here for that direct angry engagement, but they're learning how to defend themselves and other people. And a lot of times that comes through getting off the line, getting out of the way, and de-escalating the situation, using a lot more than just punching and kicking.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Parker says maybe we can host an event for chamber members and host a self-defense class. I think that's a great idea.
I would love that.
And he also wants to know kind of what your fees are.
For self-defense, so we have, and I just finished our spring schedule, so I'm trying to get it up online this week. But we have classes here intermittently at the studio. We start with a self-defense level 1 class called Prepare and Aware, and that really is kind of that entry level self-defense. Individually, that's $42 per person in our studio. As I work with companies that bring it into their own team building or what have you, there's custom pricing just based on what they want or need, often discounted because of the group rate. And then we have a level 2 class that really focuses on the muscle memory, learning the skills that you need. Because the truth in self-defense is, a 2.5-hour course isn't going to necessarily change someone's trajectory. It's going to give them an awareness of the situation. So we created the level 2 to really drill down into the skill set to be able to practice it. That's $60 to come for a level 2. And then level 3, we're going to start integrating into our studio this summer. For those people who have come through the level 1 and level 2 course, I'm a big proponent of your muscle memory is in the practice. And so for those graduates, we're going to have like a little alumni level 3, probably on a Friday night where you can come and punch and kick and practice all the things that you've learned on a drop-in cost so that you can keep your skills sharp.
That's awesome. And can you share any success stories or testimonials from past or current students?
Yes. I mean, lots of them. I think, in lots of different disciplines, kind of starting with the martial arts, because that's where we got our roots here in the community. I honestly was looking around the studio the other night. I was working on some B-roll for our social media campaigns. And what started as, that day we had that COVID conversation, I think that there were 8 people in the studio at the time. And I looked around, I think we've got 57 students now. And what I love is the cross-section of the population. It's really been beautiful to see the people that come through. We train adults that are training on their own, that are finding a lot of personal successes, not just for a good workout, but just in their overall outlook on life. We've got some neurodiverse students that I feel like I just love seeing how welcome they feel and how hard they try and how engaged that they are in an athletic endeavor that really pushes them outside of their comfort zone. But how I watch them just feeling seen and accepted in this community. And that's always like a huge bonus for me as the teacher of the littlest little people. Man, I just love teaching them. And so seeing them have achievements as well. I guess as an instructor, seeing students connect, the martial arts to me, yoga is a little similar, but my bigger background is in martial arts, and it's such a rich tradition. So much more than, again, just the punching and kicking. And it's great to have all of that. But seeing students connect with a really beautiful art that involves so much more than just all of that, and really connecting with what it means to defend themselves and other people, and how that plays out in the relationships that they have, either with their siblings or at home, or struggles that they have at school. Those success stories are really, really special.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we have a couple minutes left. If there's anything else that you want to share with all of us, anything at all.
Well, gosh, I always welcome anyone to come check out our studio, whether, as a business owner, you want to come have a one-to-one. I love having one-to-ones here. Anyone can come take a free class to just kind of see what we're at and we're about. Like I said, we have yoga, martial arts, Zumba. We've just started some boxing classes, some combat boxing, which is really, really fun. I enjoy taking those classes. We're expanding our offerings as we have more students that are coming in and saying like, hey, would you consider teaching a class like this? And if we have a teacher in our leadership team that can teach that, we love launching new classes. So I would welcome anybody to come and check us out. We always offer a free trial class. And the first month is $49 if you just want to dive in and take a bunch of classes for $49 over the course of a month. That's kind of our entry program. So I'd welcome anyone to do that as well. And I'm just really looking forward to meeting the people of Westminster. Like, I think about the history of this community and what it's meant to me. I know I'm going to show my age at this point, but gosh, growing up, going to the Westminster Mall and those balloons coming up and down in the fountains, and a lot of the different things that made this area special. My parents' very first house in Colorado was just off of 92nd and Sheridan. And so it's really fun to kind of be out and about in the community. enjoying the growth and what it's become. And everyone in Westminster has been just so welcoming. I've really enjoyed being a part of the chamber so far, and I look forward to meeting people.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad to have you. It's a really unique program that you're running, and I know that people are going to be really excited to learn about it and go check you out. So
thank you so much for this opportunity, Jamie. It's really cool that you do this. I love it.
yeah, thank you for joining me today.
Great.
Thanks everyone else for joining. Everybody, excuse me, everybody have a great Wednesday.
Thanks.
All right, bye.